Alex Smith, what's going on, brother? Travis Kelce, Cincinnati Bearcats, go Cats. Just wanted to get on here and ask you a question, but first say thank you for being such an instrumental part of my career. I truly mean that. I think, I wouldn't be where I am today without learning how to be a pro from you and, not being afraid to make mistakes and to learn from those mistakes and to, stay positive through the ups and downs of an NFL football game. I remember a game in New York where you threw me the ball, then I kind of gung-hoed the whole situation, threw it 40 yards downfield to somebody I wasn't supposed to, bonehead move, interception, fourth quarter, game on the line. I just lost the game for the team in my mind. You come over to me as I'm hanging my head, you tap me on the chest, and you go, dude, just think of it like a punt. It's just like a punt. You're playing field position. I was like, even though it was second down, field position, defense gets a stop, we get the ball back, we go down and score and win the game. And that's the mentality that you helped me develop no matter what stupid decisions I make through a football game. And thank you for that. And, we didn't get the ball back. We lost that game. And it was definitely a huge part of me throwing an interception. Was there anybody in your career that made you feel like it was okay to throw an interception in the fourth quarter, as long as it was like with good intention? All right, now. Miss you guys.
He looks wildly familiar.
Yeah, it's good to get him back in the building, and I think we all know how the energy that Eric brings and what he gives to a football team. So, and he's coming off a heck of a season with the Chicago Bears. My hat goes off to the Bears and the great job that they did there. And then on the other hand, we had another great coordinator here too with Matt Nagy, and this gives Matt an opportunity to go out and run his show there and do what he does best, taking 2 Super Bowl championships with him and 3 Super Bowl appearances. So he'll and a top 10 offense that he was working with this past year. So he'll go out and be able to put his own mark on things, and that takes my name off of it, and he gets the purity of it. I was hoping that it would be a head coaching position. It still might be that. He deserves that for definitely for sure. If that doesn't work, it gives him an opportunity to step in as a coordinator and run a show from there. So it's a win-win, I think, on both sides for both coaches. And again, we're glad that EB was able to come back in and jump in that position and bring all the knowledge that he has likewise to the table. So with that, time's yours.
Let's start with Sam McDowell.
Hey, Andy, and Sid, I'll have a couple things, but first, those of us who are at training camp every day, can certainly see the impression that EB leaves out there on the players and on the field, but in what ways did you notice that you needed that back?
Yeah, well, I thought Matt brought great energy too with his. It's different. It's a different, they both have their own personalities that they share with it, and EB does. He's going to be very direct with the players, very direct with the coaches, and it's a different flavor. Both have been very productive in this system here, so I think it's a win-win for us that way. But EB brings there's nobody like EB on the field that way. That's one of his, and with the players, he does a great job there.
Obviously, when you've got an opening, you could go several different ways with it, and you choose to go with EB. Just wondered if you interviewed anyone from the outside and kind of what your thought process was on prioritizing what EB brings versus maybe what somebody else might have brought.
No, I did talk to him. EB was in the playoffs, so I wasn't able to talk to him until after he was done there. So, but had to make a move fast. There are a lot of openings here, Sam. And so, if one guy's going one direction, you got to make sure that you can fill that position and do it as quickly as you possibly can. So, at the same time, was still being able to talk to others. So, to answer your question, yes, I did talk to other people.
Let's go next to Jesse Newell.
Hey, Sid, I'll have a quick follow-up too. Hey, Andy, just to start off with, you seem pretty fired up about this. Can you go into why this hire fires you up?
Well, listen, I'm fired up to get in this off season and get going. I mean, we didn't do very well this past year, and that's not been our MO there. So I want to fix the problem, and let's the problems that we had, and in all phases. This isn't just an offensive. In all phases, we've had some guys that have some guys. There will be people that move on. There'll be people that come in, players. And a couple of quality control guys left and a couple other guys left. And so we'll cover all that down the road here. But it's, change can be good sometimes for you. And so that's what I'm fired up about.
And what do you think EB is specifically going to do for Patrick at this point in his career?
Yeah, I mean, he brings it. Patrick knows him, first of all, Jesse, and then I tell you, EB will be very direct with him, like he does with everybody, but he knows it's coming from a place of knowledge there that he knows. And Patrick, you guys could take this whole thing a couple different ways, so I want to make sure we're saying this right. Patrick loved Nags, and he also loves EB. So this isn't either or deal. It's one guy having to replace another guy and that's not what this is about. But I want to make sure Nags gets his shout out here too, and that EB gets his for coming in here.
Let's go next to Vahe.
Hey, Andy. Just curious if you could speak to this a little bit. As meticulous as you are about everything, I wondered to what degree this is a process where you wrote down a lot of things you were looking for, and you just had to think about this, and Eric just came to mind. I know you talked to other people, but I wonder if you could just share that a little bit about what you sought and how much this is gut.
Yeah, so I know both guys and know them well. I mean, I've worked with them hand in hand, won championships with them. And so here's Nags in a position where he's got an opportunity here potentially to move on and great things happen for he and his family and everything else. So I'm on one side of that. I'm pushing that. I'm saying, let's go, man, do your thing. And on the other side, I've got to sit there and go, who's going to replace this guy that just came off of winning a couple championships and going to 3 Super Bowls? So, EB becomes an obvious guy that you'd want to talk to. I would think, right, from a logical standpoint. So, I think he's a great fit. He was a great fit when he was here. He'll be a great fit now that he's back. And I've had success with bringing guys back into the fold and things happening. And so as a unit, as an organization, and I think everybody's fired up to see that, listen, we're able to replace a great guy with another great guy. I've got great guys here. Joe Blameyer, there are very few guys that are as good as Joe Blameyer. I feel very confident in him in that offensive room, and Spags and his crew are here. So there's just some, Andy Hex. I mean, these guys are all guys that are top notch, and then Brett's working the personnel side of it. So there's good continuity, there's good teamwork that goes on. I know everybody can function well together. That becomes important to me.
And I'm sorry, I've lost track of what's official and not official at this point, but it
So don't ask it if it's not official.
Luckily, you'll know. In general, it looks like there are a handful of other changes to the.
Yeah, I don't want to get into all that. Hey, we'll hit that another time. I don't want to take anything away from EB and him coming back here, because that I think is. I think for everybody, for our fan base, for ownership, for the organization, I just think it's a positive thing. At the same time, I want Matt to have a chance to be a head football coach and do the things that he's dreaming of doing. I mean, that's huge in this business, and he's sitting at an important time that with some openings in this league that you very seldom see, where you've got these 10 at one time here, 10 different openings. I mean, that's there's opportunities there.
Thanks, Andy.
Yeah.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Coach, I was just wondering a little bit about the Matt aspect of it. From your words, it sounds like it was sort of a mutual positive parting of ways. I guess, when did you determine that would be best? Or I guess the two of you determine that would be best. And again, just to confirm, it just feels like he can put his stamp on something somewhere else, and that being the reason.
Yeah, if we left it that simple, that's what I would tell you. I mean, I know everybody's going to question everything, and I get all that. It's understandable. But Matt and I have a great relationship, and here he sits, and before the season, before the season even started here, I knew that he wanted an opportunity to have his own show. He's been a head coach. He was coach of the year. I mean, this guy, all the things I've said about him, I still feel about him. There's nothing different there. He deserves to have a head coaching job, and if not, it gives him an opportunity to go out and do his thing. I would have told you the same thing about EB when he did it. It gave him an opportunity to go out and do their thing. So there was no signage of rollovers and all that. He wanted to just keep it that way. Word gets out on that, and give him an opportunity. And I mean, somebody's missing a gym here. That's how I feel, and I would love to see him get picked up and going. And at the same time, we got back at Jim, so it's a win. It has a chance to be a win-win here when everything's said and done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Go next to Todd Lebo.
Hey, Coach, Eric left and got to be in a couple of different places and, dip his toe in some other stuff. What sort of things do you think he learned while he was away that he can maybe help? Stuff?
Yeah, everywhere you go in this business, you pick something up. And you might take it with you, or you might say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. So, and at the same time, he's got all those years in this system too, so he understands that. So I welcome that. I always keep my ears and eyes open for things, and that's why we're very seldom stagnant, and why even with our record, I felt where I could stand in front of you guys and go, listen, what worked for us the year before, it just flipped on us. The games we won the year before, they flipped on us this year, and we didn't win. And that's sometimes how this thing works. And so now it's making sure that we get back and and correct some things, and then get them going in the right direction again. So, but at the same time, you finish and you're looking at being in the top 10 offensively. I mean, before Pat gets hurt, or even after the Dallas game, which didn't go our way. I mean, here's Matson with a top 5 offense, in a lot of categories in the NFL. So I respect that part. This game, we're seeing it now when you look at the playoffs. I mean, these games are nip and tuck, baby. It's you miss a play here or there, and you're going to lose the game. And so all those games that were so tight for us this year, we have to fix and clean that up.
Guys, we're going to wrap this up with Sarin and Matt Derrick. We've got to get Coach onto a meeting. Okay. Go ahead, Sarin.
Thank you, and I'll have a follow-up as well.
You've only got 1 minute, Sarin. Doggone it.
That's it. I'll go quick.
Right.
One of the things when Patrick spoke to us, he said that he was looking for and was accountability. He used that word. I mean, it seems like as an outsider that accountability is something that Eric is certainly not afraid to make sure. And is that something that you think was lacking last year when you hear your quarterback say that?
No, I think Pat probably said it best right there, is that we've always had accountability here. With Eric or without Eric, it was still, you're responsible for certain things. And so whoever's coming in, better be feeling that, and there's a certain standard that you're going to hold each other to, and I'm sure that's what Patrick was without quizzing him here, Sarin. I would tell you that that's probably what he was saying.
He also said someone who would bring in new ideas every day, I think was the way he phrased it. I know you've had different people come in, whether it was, I think it was Chris Holt was the Nevada coach. And, this offense obviously looks real different than, say, the way Bill Walsh was running it with the 49ers, right? You've never been afraid to change and adapt. Is that something you have to, constantly remind yourself that it needs to happen? Do you when you win, when you have the kind of success you guys have, are you liable to maybe fall into a rut and not look for the different kind of changes that maybe you would otherwise?
Yeah, I think we do a good job with that. We try to give you a little different flavor every year and stay ahead of things. I think we've got to do a better job all the way around and every area. I think that's important. And so you go through and you hammer this thing out. You take every offensive play, every defensive play, every special teams play. You go through it. You make sure that you've got guys that are aware of the league and how things go there, different trends offensively, defensively, and on special teams. And you use all the technology that's out there. There's no reason to be stagnant. You've got too many different options. You shouldn't have to bring in the latest, greatest here and there and all that. That's not, you've got all that right at a fingertip for you if you want to go that route.
Okay, we'll wrap this up with Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Coach, one quick question. How do you anticipate play calling work with Eric? That was one of the big things when he left was, the ability to call his own plays and kind of have his own offense. How do you anticipate play calling working with him coming back?
Yeah, so listen, I still enjoy calling plays, but what I do is I'm not afraid to delegate and get opinions from people, and then even in certain situations, letting them go ahead and call things in different areas. So we do this jointly. I keep it open. And I felt that that's the best way. I want guys that contribute. I want them to work hard and be expert in their area, and then cumulative in all areas. So it's I've always mixed and matched there. I guess I'd tell you, Matt, and it seemed to have been fairly productive.
And you've mentioned that you want to get things fixed and cleaned up from what went wrong in 25. What do you feel like is the biggest way that EB can do that? What's the area where you feel like he can make the biggest impact?
First of all, I'm going to tell you this, Matt. Find a year where I haven't said that. Now, maybe you can pull it up, but every year I'm going to tell you whether we win the Super Bowl or not, man. There's areas that we got to go through and hash out here and make sure we get better at. So I think that's every year. I think it's every game. If you can kind of keep that mentality through the day, you're going to be okay, and get yourself better. But I think EB, what are some of his strengths? I think he's got great knowledge of the offense. I think he's understands leadership. I've always said he's a great leader of men, whether it's coaches, players. I think he does a heck of a job there. He's good with you guys. He's very honest with you. And there's no hidden agendas. I mean, that's just his personality. And listen, we're talking about EB here, so I'm not talking about Matt Nagy. That's not what we're doing. We're not comparing here. This is EB. You asked me his strengths; those are his strengths.
Thank you, everybody.